When it comes to her sister, Lee is far from naive. For years, she has cautioned her about Judy's deceitful ways. Now, amid the turmoil of their divorce, Judy is reportedly battling for sole custody of their son. Meanwhile, Lisa's reckless choices are catching up with her, forcing her to face the consequences of her own mistakes. We are all Black women here, bound together not just by our shared heritage, but also by the unspoken sisterhood that comes with it. There is a deep connection between us, one rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and the powerful love we have for figures like Brat and LisaRaye. Whether you see us on panels, in discussions, or through social media conversations, one thing is clear. We represent a vibrant, diverse, and dynamic community. And within that community, it is not unusual to find a range of opinions and perspectives. Sometimes, Black women disagree passionately, but that does not break our bonds. Instead, it strengthens the dialogue and allows us to grow together. On every panel, no matter the topic, you can find Black women bringing their voices and experiences, enriching the conversation with nuance and depth. Our perspectives are shaped by a unique blend of culture, history, and lived experiences. This diversity within our sisterhood is a strength, not a weakness. It reminds us that unity does not mean uniformity. There is room for debate, for conflict, and for difficult conversations. These tough conversations are necessary. They help us challenge assumptions, unpack stereotypes, and confront uncomfortable truths. That is exactly what I shared with Selena during one of our talks. I told Selena, sometimes we need to be honest with each other, even if it means disagreement. It's in those moments that we learn the most. I believe that facing reality head-on is far better than glossing over issues just to maintain the appearance of harmony. Real sisterhood is about supporting each other through disagreement, not avoiding it. It is about standing together even when we don't see eye to eye on everything. And in those moments, we must remember that our shared identity and love for one another should always guide us. This is where I stand firmly. No matter what's happening behind the scenes, no matter the rumors or accusations flying around, the truth always finds a way to surface. It may take time, and it may be messy, but the truth does not stay buried forever. Everyone is going through their own battles, dealing with personal struggles that are often invisible to the public eye. Life is complicated, and relationships even more so. We all have to face our challenges directly, with courage and integrity, rather than hiding behind facades or false narratives. In this whirlwind of speculation and drama, it is easy to lose sight of the human element, the feelings, fears, and hopes of those involved. We should always remember that behind every story we hear is a real person navigating a complex emotional landscape. As difficult as it can be to separate fact from fiction, we owe it to ourselves and to those involved to withhold judgment until the full picture emerges. And when someone is ready to come back into the light, when the dust settles, that is the moment when true acceptance can begin. Acceptance is not about blind forgiveness or forgetting what has happened. It is about acknowledging reality and choosing to move forward with clarity and understanding. It means letting go of preconceived notions and opening our hearts to what is real. For those involved, that moment of acceptance is a crucial step toward healing and rebuilding trust. Recently, the accusations that had cast a shadow over Brat and Judy's relationship were disproven. Evidence came to light, clarifying misunderstandings and dispelling false claims. This was a turning point, not just for them, but for all of us watching closely. They took the brave step of clearing their names publicly, showing the world that despite the turbulence, their bond remains strong. They released a heartfelt video affirming their deep love for each other, reassuring fans and critics alike that they are not separating or divorcing. This declaration was more than just a statement. It was a testament to resilience and commitment. In a world quick to judge and slow to understand, Brat and Judy chose transparency. They faced the rumors and stood united, reminding us that relationships are complex and can withstand storms when built on genuine love and respect. Their story is a powerful reminder to all of us about the importance of truth and communication. It shows that even when the world seems against you, holding on to honesty and openness can make a difference. It teaches us that we should not rush to conclusions based on hearsay or social media speculation, but rather seek to understand the full context before forming opinions. For us as a community, this moment highlights how vital it is to support one another through challenges without losing sight of compassion. It encourages us to embrace the difficult conversations with empathy and grace, knowing that beneath every headline are real people with real emotions. In closing, I want to emphasize the strength that comes from unity amid diversity. As Black women, our sisterhood is a powerful force, capable of weathering disagreements and emerging stronger. We have a responsibility to uplift each other, to engage in honest dialogue, and to remain grounded in truth and love. So let us continue to support Brat, LisaRaye, Brat, Judy, and everyone in our community with open hearts and minds. Let us value the lessons learned from their journey and apply them in our own lives. And above all, let us remember that no matter the struggles we face, truth and love will always prevail. The divorce rumors stem from a complicated situation. The child they share is actually with Judy's secret lover, a man. Judy claims the baby is his, but she convinced her partner to carry the child while she planned to leave with the lover. When the truth surfaced, accusations flew, with Judy now facing a child support lawsuit after being pushed out. Judy's devotion to Christ has been under scrutiny for some time. Many wonder if her public displays of faith match the reality of how she raises her child. Despite their attempts to clear the air, the internet remains skeptical, convinced they are just trying to manage the fallout. One thing is clear: Lee, known as the Brat sister, harbors deep resentment toward Judy. Yet, as someone reporting on these street-level dramas, it's impossible to separate fact from fiction. At one point, the Brat was fully smitten with Judy, eager to build a relationship that would stand as a powerful symbol of Black queer love. But Judy grew too close, too fast. It's no coincidence she appeared in the Brat's life right when financial struggles hit hardest. Judy was exactly the person they leaned on in their darkest moments, offering comfort and a shoulder to cry on. Though she warned her sister to be cautious, her advice came too late. By then, the damage was done. $6.4 million. The interest on that amount has climbed even higher. Now it's sitting somewhere around $8 million. Honestly, I've never had $8 million in my life. I'm still figuring out what I'd even do with that kind of money. Maybe I'll make that much one day, but so far it feels completely out of reach. Meanwhile, the LGBTQ+ community rallied behind them fiercely, standing up in support because, as you know, they fight relentlessly for their rights. Out of nowhere, Judy appeared like a shining knight, swooping in with assurance. "Hey baby, I got you." Suddenly, she was surrounded by luxury, lavish gifts, all-inclusive vacations, the whole package. Judy worked hard to boost her presence in front of the cameras, using every opportunity to expand her brand. Thanks to her successful hair treatment business, Kaleidoscope, which is valued at over $40 million, Judy has cemented her status as a multimillionaire. While that sum may sound enormous, there's truly no such thing as having too much money. Judy's business is thriving, yet her name does not carry the same weight as the Brats did when they first announced their partnership to the world. LisaRaye quickly warned her sister that Judy's rise to fame and influence was largely due to her connection with the Brat, something she likely would not have achieved simply by being the Kaleidoscope queen on her own. Lisa understood. Judy was not in a position to meddle in the Brat family affairs, and Lizer was equally certain Judy would never be permitted to do so. But the main concern was clear. "I don't want to see any tension between you and my child. I don't want friction between you and my baby. We already have enough to fix. Whatever it takes to mend this, we need to do it, and I can't wait to get started." That is not how the situation is supposed to function between us. We cannot continue carrying this heavy tension hanging over our relationship because it is simply not fair to me. This constant strain, this unresolved friction, it wears me down every single day. If she comes at me with problems, criticisms, or drama, then I am absolutely going to respond in kind. It is only natural that I defend myself, that I stand my ground. I am not willing to always be the one to step back or swallow my pride while she gets to continue without consequence. You want me to believe she is never going to try to be the bigger person? That she will never extend a simple hand of peace, or say, "Hey, can we talk?" Or, I want to fix this. Because honestly, I have yet to see that from her. Think about it. When has my husband ever come to you first about any issue between us? When has he taken the first step to reach out, to try to resolve whatever differences or misunderstandings we might have? The answer is simple: never. He has remained silent, never initiating a conversation or attempting to mediate or mend fences. This leaves me feeling like I am the only one trying to navigate this rocky terrain. I am left in this lonely position, where I am expected to absorb all the heat, to carry the weight of this conflict on my own shoulders, and to somehow keep the peace without any real effort coming from her side. Yes, I admit that as women, we are emotional beings. We are sensitive, and sometimes we react strongly because of that sensitivity. We care deeply, and that passion can sometimes lead to friction or misunderstandings. But when I cross into your world, when I enter your space, your personal realm, I make myself visible on your stage. I come into your life in a way that requires vulnerability and courage. I step out of my comfort zone to connect with you, to build a relationship that should be based on respect and mutual understanding. And what do I find instead? I find that instead of being welcomed as a guest, I feel like I am intruding, like I am in the way. It hurts to feel unwelcome. It hurts to sense that my presence is a burden, that my efforts to engage with you are seen as an annoyance or disruption rather than an opportunity to bond. I do not want to pull away, to retreat back into my own space and shut down communication, but I feel pushed toward that corner. The hostility, the coldness, the unwillingness to meet me halfway, it is pushing me farther and farther away, even though I am trying so hard to stay connected. I have made the conscious decision to be open and vulnerable with you because I believe that relationships, even difficult ones, deserve effort and honesty. I do not want this ongoing silence and tension to define us. I want us to find a way forward where we can acknowledge our differences, but still treat each other with kindness and respect. But that can only happen if both sides are willing to try. It cannot be a one-sided effort where I am constantly the one reaching out, constantly the one trying to break the ice, while she remains distant and defensive. Imagine how exhausting that is for me. To constantly feel like I have to prove my intentions, to constantly second-guess every word I say or every step I take, just because the atmosphere between us is so charged. The emotional toll it takes cannot be overstated. I want to believe in the possibility of peace, but it has to be a shared belief. I need to know that she is willing to drop her guard, to let down her defenses, even just a little. A simple gesture of goodwill, a moment of openness, would mean the world. But so far, it has been nothing but resistance. The unfairness of this situation weighs heavily on me. It is not just about a personal conflict. It is about the emotional labor I am being forced to carry alone. It is about feeling invisible and unappreciated in a space where I should be accepted and respected. When I walk into your world, I do so hoping to find warmth, not coldness. I do so hoping to build bridges, not walls. So yes, I will respond if she brings tension or issues my way. I will not simply absorb it quietly or pretend it does not affect me. But what I truly want is for her to take the first step. For her to show some willingness to be the bigger person for once. For her to reach out with a simple, "Hey, can we talk?" or "I want to understand." Because right now, it feels like that door is closed tight, and no matter how hard I try, I cannot open it alone. I am not asking for perfection. I am not demanding that everything be resolved overnight. I am simply asking for fairness, respect, and a little bit of effort from her side. If we want any chance at a peaceful, healthy relationship, it has to be a two-way street. Otherwise, this tension will continue to build, and it will only push us further apart. I do not want that. I want us to find a way to coexist, to support each other, and to create a space where both of us feel safe and respected. But to get there, she has to meet me halfway. She has to be willing to put down the baggage, to set aside the pride, and to acknowledge that this ongoing tension is hurting all of us, not just me. Only then can we begin to heal and build something better. Until then, I will continue to stand my ground, to speak my truth, and to demand the respect that I deserve when I enter her world. Because that is what any person deserves: respect, fairness, and the chance to be heard. Maybe I should have talked to you first before she did, so I could have shared how she was feeling, what was really going on inside. But I don't want my energy to match hers. It's negative, and I'm trying to stay above that. We'll see what the future holds. Yet, because the brat was so infatuated with Judy and always sided with her, she ignored the warnings. Honestly, can you blame her? Love clouds judgment, making you overlook red flags and try to rationalize what's right in front of you. That's exactly what the brat did. Lee stepped back gracefully once she saw her sister was too tangled in Judy's web. Word on the street is Judy became the brat's main source of income, helping her cover debts and avoid bankruptcy, meaning she had to follow Judy's rules. She was reportedly upset to learn they were expecting a child together, knowing it meant a lifelong commitment and added financial burden. Lee also understood Judy would be the primary support from now on, since the brat could never raise the child alone. So, how do you feel about her having a baby? Are you excited at all? Honestly, I don't know the gender yet. I actually found out through social media, not from any direct conversation. That's wild. It really is. Sorry to hear that. It reminds me of the last drama we had that went viral. Have you heard about it? No, not really. I was watching a Ricky Smiley interview where you called in early one morning. This one happened on Cocktails with Queens. She showed up to wish me a happy birthday. Totally unexpected since we hadn't spoken in a long time. Later, I heard she ended up cussing everyone out on the show because she came out publicly. When I was asked how I felt about my sister coming out, I was completely lost. I had no clue what they were talking about, so I just gave a cautious, politically correct answer. There was a whole life unfolding on social media that I knew nothing about, and honestly, I felt hurt and overlooked. So when I finally saw her, it was like, "Oh, you've got time today, huh?" What I thought was anger at the time was something deeper,